There's so many predators roaming the African savanna. Alone, a wild dog is not much of a threat for most preys, but wild dogs in a pack, hunting side by side, are the best hunters of the jungle. What animals do you think fear wild dogs the most? Are wildebeest afraid of wild dogs? Or does the mighty tiger become skittish in front of a pack of wild dogs? Let's find out as we count down 15 animals afraid of the African wild dog. Number 15. Leopards and cheetahs. Leopards are strong, stealthy, and crafty, but they hunt alone with no one by their side. So when a pack of wild dogs come into a leopard's territory, the leopard isn't throwing a party. One-on-one, the leopard would destroy a wild dog, but when you have 15 or 20 wild dogs biting at you, the perspective changes. These two wild dogs are harassing this leopard, but there's a fence between them, so it's all good. The next clip shows a few wild dogs scare off a leopard into a tree. In this next clip, 3 cheetahs are enjoying their meal with the few wild dogs looking on, hoping to get the leftovers. Imagine eating and constantly being watched. How annoying must that be? The wild dogs annoy the cheetahs to a point of forcing them to abandon their kill. The wild dogs are smart. They seem to prefer harassing a predator that already has killed, so they can just rip off the food from it. Of course, they probably wouldn't try this with lions, but with the smaller cheetah or even the leopard, anything can happen. Wild dogs communicate and are very strategic when it's time to surround a prey or steal a kill from another predator. Number 14. Honey badgers. Everyone already knows how crazy honey badgers are. They're simply not afraid of anything, so I don't know how afraid they could be of a bunch of wild dogs. When 3 wild dogs prepare to attack a lone honey badger, the honey badger does not back down. He confronts the assailants while simultaneously running for cover. He's outnumbered and outsized, but he's formidable and the wild dogs know this. In this next clip, 2 honey badgers are challenged by a few wild dogs. The dogs seem like they just want to play, but the badgers mean business. The badgers charge the dogs and the dogs back off. They know the badgers have a solid bite, but still, the dogs don't seem to be taking this too seriously because 2 of the dogs are just lying in the grass while the other 2 harass the badgers. The badgers finally stroll away, and the dogs look at one another asking themselves what just happened. Finally, 2 honey badgers smell young wild dog pups, but mama dog is there to protect its young. The badgers hiss at the dog, but nothing comes of it. The badgers are off on their merry way, and for the dogs, it's back to diapers and bottles. Number 13. Wildebeest. Wildebeest are the prey of choice for many predators in the African savanna. Their meat is tender and they are high in numbers, so the odds of catching a wildebeest are exceptionally good. When the great migration of the wildebeest begins, most predators are on their high horses because they know it will be an all-you-can-eat buffet for weeks to come. Wildebeest do help each other out occasionally when hunted, and in this video, you can see a few wild dogs trying to corner a wildebeest. Although not equipped with huge horns, wildebeest won't give in without a fight. In this case, there are few wildebeest and only a few dogs, so the battle isn't lost yet. The wildebeest is holding its ground, but if the other wildebeest in the area could help instead of looking at the birds, maybe this wildebeest could get out of its tight spot. Well, guess what? The others finally wake up and the dogs seem to back off reluctantly, but they're still backing off. I don't know if these wildebeest had a huddle and called a fire pass, but they decided to charge the dogs, and the dogs dispersed rapidly. The advantage wildebeest have over wild dogs is size. Dogs aren't very big, and they're very good at hunting one wildebeest at a time. But with so many wildebeest around, they don't stand a chance. Number 12. Hyenas. Hyenas are everyone's worst enemy, and wild dogs are no exception. When wild dogs and hyenas meet, there is a lot of talk, but not much action. That's because neither wants to make the first move. The hyenas talk and giggle, and the wild dogs listen and contemplate. In this clip, a couple of hyenas come looking for the dogs, so there isn't much talking going on. Of course, you'll always hear the occasional joke a hyena might crack, but nothing too drastic. There they go. It almost sounds like Beethoven's Ninth. How annoying are these guys? The hyenas are more on the offensive, but after most of the hyenas grab the kill, one hyena gets trapped, and the dogs are letting it have it. In this next clip, one hyena is in trouble and retreats into the water because it's going through a rough patch with quite a few dogs. The dogs finally leave, and the hyena lives another day. These scuffles happen on a daily basis, so life on the savannah is not all fun and games. The last clip is kinda sad. It seems like the dogs got the best of this hyena, who lays on the ground, not even reacting to the pinches and bites the dogs are inflicting on it. Life goes on, but not for this hyena. Number 11. Lions. Lions are the most fearless and ferocious predators in Africa. Not many animals will mess with lions unless they outnumber them, like hyenas for instance, or perhaps even wild dogs. But the minute a few lion males show up, everyone runs for their lives. In this clip, wild dogs look like they're on a party, playing with each other and having fun, until a few lionesses come to crash the party. Lions will not hesitate to attack wild dogs, because one-on-one, they're just too powerful for the dogs. The lions chase the dogs, and the dogs scamper all over the place. Things are slightly different in this clip, where a pack of 15 dogs stand up to a lone lion. It's much easier when it's 15 against 1. The lion's face is full of blood. I'm guessing these are the remains of his last meal, but anything's possible. The dogs keep hounding it, and the lion is very much annoyed. The lion finally walks away, and the dogs don't pursue it. I guess they're just happy the lion is gone. In this last clip, a pack of wild dogs are pulling on what seems to be a deer carcass. They begin feasting on the day's meal when they notice a huge male lion walking close by. That's enough to have them drop their lunch and run until infinity. Number 10. Buffalo. Buffalo are powerful animals that will sometimes even challenge lions. They are massive, and if they manage to give a good shot with one of their horns, it could be deadly. Unless they're targeting a younger calf, wild dogs don't have much of a chance bringing down a full-grown buffalo. Watch as this pack of wild dogs chases a herd of buffalo. They look more like sheepdog guiding the sheep. The buffalo runs away, and the dogs stand there with nothing to show. Even though the dogs are great hunters, taking down a buffalo is another story. Except in this clip, the dogs have a buffalo cornered and they are going at it. The buffalo is struggling and trying to fend them off, but it's not easy. This massive buffalo is surrounded by dogs, but none of the dogs have the courage of getting up close, where it can be dangerous. Maybe they're just trying to hire the buffalo a little before they close in on it. Buffalo don't seem to like wild dogs much, and that's because the dogs are relentless, and they don't give up easily. In this last clip, a pair of buffalo are getting a drink, and the dogs are annoying them. They pick on one buffalo, but it's a beast, so it looks like more of a game of bull in the middle than a buffalo hunt. Number 9. Nyala. The Nyala is like a goat, but bigger with substantial horns. In this first clip, a Nyala is confronted by two wild dogs trying to have a quick lunch. The Nyala faces both dogs with fervor, and if these dogs think it will be a walk in the park, they have something else coming. However, the pack joins in, and the Nyala is now battling many dogs, and this could become overwhelming for the Nyala. The dogs manage to get the Nyala down, and that's more than half the battle. It will be difficult now for the Nyala to get out of this spot, unless it gets some help. The dogs are pulling on all sides, and this must be very painful for the poor Nyala. I guess that's why dogs are hated. They're not very big, so they take more time to kill their prey, which means more suffering for the prey. But the Nyala manages to get up and charges a few of the dogs. This fight isn't over just yet. Or is it? The dogs eventually tire the Nyala and lunch is served. Number 8. Tigers. No one could ever imagine a tiger being in trouble facing a pack of wild dogs. Tigers are at the top of the food chain, but when they can't find food, will they hunt their enemies instead of continue looking for prey? Wild dogs are also predators, but they wouldn't dare attack a tiger, unless it was seriously injured. But this tiger in our video has other ideas. It's starving and it doesn't care what it eats as long as it fills up its tummy. The tiger is on the warpath and the dogs know it, so they retreat as fast as they can, sensing that danger is lurking. All these battles come down to who's starving the most and who wants it the most. Wild dogs, if very hungry, will risk battling a tiger, but it's not their favorite pastime. Number 7. Kudu. A kudu is a large antelope that looks somewhat like a reindeer, and wild dogs love to eat kudu. They like it so much, they're even willing to jump into the water to chase it. Usually, wild dogs don't like to pursue their prey in the water, so they wait on the shore until the prey is exhausted and decides to come out of the water. But in this clip, the dogs are in the water with the kudu, and it looks like they're going for the kill. This kudu is stunning with its long curved horns. What a beautiful animal. It's the first time I see a battle of the sorts in the water. The kudu is not conceding any ground to the wild dogs, but there are many of them, and it's alone. It's much harder for the dogs to get a grip of the kudu in the water. They're barely keeping their heads out of the water, so just grabbing onto the kudu is very hard. It seems like the dogs abandon ship, and the kudu survives. In this next clip, the kudu is not as lucky. and it's being chased by a pack of dogs in the forest. The number of dogs is overwhelming for the kudu, and things don't look like they will improve. It's the end for this beautiful creature. This next clip shows a much younger kudu struggling to get out of the grip of this lone wild dog, which is surprising because wild dogs are usually never alone. The dog eats the kudu while it's still alive. The rest of the pack joins the feast. There's no denying that dogs are great hunters. Number 6. Zebra. Zebras are probably the most popular item on a crocodile's menu, along with antelope. But wild dogs also try to make the zebra part of their diet. Zebras, however, are not an easy kill for wild dogs. They're big, strong, and fast. This pack of wild dogs is fast approaching 2 zebras, but if they want to take one down, they better have a plan. It seems like they preferred going for the sure kill, an impala, which is on the menu today. Zebras are not an easy take for wild dogs, and the dogs need to elaborate a strategy to take one down, but it seems like all they're doing is following the zebras and annoying them. When zebras are in numbers and helping each other out, there's little the dogs can do, but hope a zebra trips over a tree branch. The zebras are even charging the dogs, so besides being a distraction, the dogs aren't much of a threat to the zebras. Number 5. Warthog. Warthogs are tough animals, and they have razor-sharp tusks. But one warthog alone against a pack of wild dogs isn't going to cut it. The warthog knows this, and it's not sticking around when it comes across a group of dogs. It starts running, and fast. The warthog digs a trench and goes in defense mode, but even that may not be enough to fend off the attack. This next clip shows a warthog closing a deal with the gang of wild dogs. The dogs want to see the yayo, but the warthog wants to see the money. The dogs tell the warthog they have the money, but first they want to see the stuff. The warthog seems impatient and asks the dog if they want to start all over again. The dogs tell the warthog it's not necessary, so the warthog becomes aggressive. It moves forward, challenging the dog, and is outnumbered 10-1. After touting one another, 2 zebras from the DEA notice something strange, and the transaction goes sideways with all the culprits leaving the premises. The next clip shows some dogs investigating a warthog den. I don't think anybody's home. Wait, the warthog is returning home and senses the danger, so it immediately hops back in its den and the dogs wait at the door. The dogs finally capture a warthog and have lunch. I don't see wild dogs and warthogs becoming friends anytime soon. Number 4. Impala. The hardest part is catching it. When wild dogs get a hold of an impala, they tear it to shreds in minutes. The impala doesn't stand a chance. Even if they must go into the water to get a bite, they will. This impala is already injured and laying in the water. The end is near and the dogs are salivating. They're slowly opening up the impala, but an unwelcoming visitor tries to break up the bunch. A hyena wants a piece of the action, and there's not much the dogs can do, so they figure it's better to let the hyena in on the meal and get a piece of it as well. Enemies eating at the same table. Happens all the time with humans. This next impala is in a tight spot with wild dogs on one side and hyenas on the other. There's no way it's getting out of there alive. But miraculously enough, the impala finds a way to the river and the dogs abandon chase. Number 3. Hippos. Hippos are not the prey of choice for wild dogs, but they hate each other. Hippos usually chase wild dogs trying to hunt an impala or other prey, and that's why these two don't get along. I'm not sure that hippos fear wild dogs, but they sure find them annoying. This first hippo stands in a small pond surrounded by wild dogs. Are the dogs trying to make a kill, or do they just feel like harassing the hippo? I don't think they stand much of a chance, and they know it too. Wild dogs are very successful when they attack, because there are many of them, and even the largest animals will have problems fending them off. But a hippo is monstrous, and one bite will kill a dog. The dogs more often than not realize this and disperse. Number 2. Giraffes. Giraffes are also mistrustful of wild dogs, but they can take care of themselves. Even lions have a hard time taking down a giraffe, so imagine wild dogs. In this clip, a pack of wild dogs seem to be chasing a tower of giraffes, but it doesn't seem like they want the giraffes. What could they be looking for? I don't think a pack of wild dogs would attempt to hunt a full-grown giraffe. The risks are too high and many dogs could die in the process. Number 1. Baboons. Baboon troops work together in the event of an attack, and they are quite fierce when defending their territory. As you can see in this clip, baboons will not be intimidated by wild dogs, and they'll even chase them out of their territory. The minute wild dogs are confronted with enemies that are in numbers as well, the game changes. Wild dogs are great at hunting lone prey. But when they're challenged by a troop of baboons, it's not that easy anymore. Some baboons are almost as big as wild dogs, so they match up well. My favorite in this countdown has got to be the honey badger. It's amazing how an animal so small gets so much respect. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 15 animals afraid of the African wild dog. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.